Some general considerations are fictitious allegations. Okay, again, you know, there are people that make up allegations. I haven't had this experience myself, but I've definitely known of other people who have, where you have maybe a custody battle between parents who are divorcing, and it's like, well, he's been abusing kids. You know, he was doing this, or the way he punished them, wasn't appropriate. It's considered abusive. Okay, it's hard to know under those circumstances if there really was some abuse happening or it's really kind of out of some other motive. Okay, and that has been seen in the literature when you look at some of the statistics, that when you have couples that are fighting over custody, oftentimes all of a sudden this abuse gets thrown out there. Okay, where who knows for sure. Cultural considerations is something to consider. There's different ways of parenting styles. I know among a lot of Asian cultures, basically, they'll have, just to give you one example, because I remember this came up years ago, some class or something I was involved in, but over here in kind of Western cultures, with infants in particular, I know there's many people that basically with an infant, if the infant is crying, they might leave the infant in the other room, right? Even a little infant crying for hours. Well, for people in Asian cultures that I know of, that's abusive. You have the baby, the infant by you, and you keep the baby by you, and you feed them by you. But over here, oftentimes people say, no, you don't want to have the baby right next to you. You can roll over on the baby for one, which some people have been known to do that, not everybody. But you don't want to have the baby right next to you. You want to keep them in another room, and you feed them, but you want to let them cry, and it's part of the independence process or what have you. But in other cultures, I just want you to know it's not seen typically the same way. So sometimes there's variations just within the parenting, and that needs to be considered. When you go into people's homes, you'll notice differences in parenting and feeding and routine and structure and all of that. Some parents definitely want to promote more independent children. They may be 2 years old and they're trying to, they're wanting to be potty trained right now. Okay? Well, all of us somehow became potty trained. It'll happen. But I've known some parents that are really wanting to push that. Same with walking and talking. They're wanting to push it. So again, there's some cultural differences with that. So it's just something to keep in mind. Okay, so a couple of resources I want you to know about. Child Protection Hotline. If you have any questions, say there's not a particular case necessarily, but you just have some general questions. You can also feel free to call them if you need advice, if you need forms. Okay, again, it's that same number, so have that somewhere for yourself. And you can also look up, you can look up PANRA if you wanted to read about the law itself and go through some of that legalese language, but you can look that up. Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act, you can go to that website under CAPTA. World Health Organization is great for just statistics and things and research. And then a couple other websites. There's Safe State and NC. I forgot offhand what that one is because I put it there some time ago. It was one that I found useful. NCCANCH. That does stand for something. If it's Health and Human Services, I don't remember, but that's another potential website. And again, we'll make this accessible to you guys, so you'll have this.